try to prove.
Well, good morning, my beautiful people. As you guys come into the stream, I ask that you'll double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. It's your boy Big Ghost Rider, man. You know what I'm saying? Still out here in Connecticut. It's a little chilly out here, you know what I'm saying, on the We the People tour, man. But you know what I'm saying? We're doing outside streams. It's like day number 99. Tomorrow's day number 100. You know what I'm saying? We got a real special live stream for you guys tomorrow. You're going to be headed out to a different location here in Connecticut. It's a very gorgeous location. So you guys make sure y'all tap in with me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time for the news. And then 1 p.m. out in God's country, going to be recording the vlog, be released this upcoming Tuesday. So as you guys come into the stream, I ask that you please double tap the video if you're on a cell phone. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification. Guys, let me get this news story pulled right on up. We're going to jump straight into the content. Like I said, it's an outdoors tour. You know what I'm saying? We out here in Connecticut, though. It's cold out here. We're going to power through it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it. So, guys, now, we don't really have too much of an intro today. Russia is a regular topic here on Legal Wars Live, So a lot of these points that I'm going to make today, I have already addressed. I'm talking about the analysis-wise. However, I will go over two fresh, off-the-press news stories. I mean, they were published in the early a.m. hours today. That's super fresh, guys. On how President Trump took a quick about-face on his stance on Russia. I'm not hating on him. I think it's a good thing. Thank God for Secretary Rubio canceling a TV meeting with the Russian dictator. Listen, I understand President Trump want to get this peace deal done. And I think that's bipartisan. And I think for many good reasons for the whole entire world, it's essential that it gets done. But just going to give Vladimir Putin a TV op, you know what I'm saying? That's not helping nothing. He's been in power for way too long. He is launching missiles into Ukrainian cities that's killing Ukrainian citizens and Ukrainian children. He isn't interested in peace at all at this moment. And he is fine with sacrificing over 1 million young Russian lives over a strip of land or a couple strips of land. So the canceling of this meeting and announcing sanctions, new sanctions on Russian oil, I would say, if you ask Ghost, that's not enough to achieve peace in Ukraine, but it's definitely steps in the right direction. I know I said I wasn't going to do an intro, guys, but now that I'm doing another talking point, I guess that this will be a little short intro, but I'm going to say that giving up land in Ukraine has to be a last resort. President Trump should know this. He's a negotiator. He should give Ukraine weapons or clear NATO to give Ukraine more weapons. If not the tomahawks, then some more capability. And he should attempt to cripple Russia economically. I'm saying if it was me, I would strategically use the tariffs as a weapon against any nation who brought Russian beef, not just oil, or put max tariffs on Russian products. And I'll tell you why. I believe the trade war on China under the first Trump administration devastated the American beef industry. And President Trump knows it and has addressed it. But if you can levy tariffs on Russia or a geopolitical foe who isn't a U.S. ally, and it will help your own farmers, isn't that a no-brainer? Meaning, you can give tariff exemptions to every nation who stopped buying Russian beef and started buying American. Demand jumping like that too, with the right policies, could actually help drive the prices down, because beef in the U.S. right now is too expensive, baby. Ghostwriter Cooking, man, I'm giving it to y'all this morning for free. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, good morning. As y'all come into the stream, I ask y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, man. I'm sorry about the hoodie, man, but it's cold out here in Connecticut, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going, though. Now, listen. President Trump's meeting with the Chinese leader, if you guys don't know, he will be meeting with Xi Jinping next week in South Korea, will be a political TV spectacle for the world to see. Yeah, sure. The leaders of the two world's largest economies, every business leader and world leader and political junkie will be watching. But having said that, I understand that China itself, yes, China, is funding Russia's economy by buying so much Russian oil. And remember, I told you guys about the trade war in the first Trump administration? Well, not only is China buying Russian oil, they stopped buying American beef and they started buying Russian beef bricks. I know President Trump, he has a problem with China and Russia being this close in the first place. Those are two very powerful nations. They're neighbors in Asia. Therefore, in effect, funding the war against Ukraine by buying all that Russian oil, all that Russian beef. President Trump's meeting with the Chinese leader isn't just high stakes for television. It's almost for all of the marbles, guys. The balance of the power of the world is at stake, and it is very important that President Trump gets this right now. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that you'll double tap your screen. If you're on a cell phone, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, I welcome all of you guys, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats alike, Jump down in the comments. Let your voice be heard. I just ask that you'll be respectful to others. So our first source for the news story is ABC News, and it was published on January the 23rd. President Donald Trump said yesterday he felt it was time to hit Russia with tougher sanctions, a major escalation amid his latest push to pressure Vladimir Putin into ending his war on Ukraine. Well, it's about time. Today is a very big day in terms of what we're doing. These are tremendous sanctions. These are very big, Trump said as he met with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte in the Oval Office. They're two big oil companies, and we hope that they won't be here for long. We hope the war will be settled. Yeah, President Trump, we all hope it'll be settled. But what I'm saying is you have taken every single angle possible on the diplomatic side. There's no one in the whole world, not even Hakeem Jeffries himself, not even Nancy Pelosi, President Trump, that won't say that you have taken a diplomatic angle or you have tried diplomatic means to settle this war. You've been very friendly to Vladimir, and he's disrespected you repeatedly, publicly. So I'm saying if you've taken every angle on the diplomatic side to solve the conflict, and they've all failed, I'm saying, when do you think you're going to put pressure on Vladimir? Same talking points, but they so important. This is fresh news. I'm saying Zelensky just came to the White House. President Trump is fresh off. Listen to me, guys. President Trump is fresh off a hot ceasefire. Now, Jared and others have went to the Middle East to try to make sure, do the work, basically do the work. Ain't just on TV, ain't just writing, ain't just papers. Look, I could write as many pretty documents as I want to in the court. I got to do the work. So they doing the work to make sure that that piece is achieved. So what I'm saying is so President Trump, when he got Zelensky coming to the White House, and he say he can't give Zelensky the tomahawk missiles. Okay, well, he explained why he can't give him the missiles because, you know what I'm saying, the Americans that have to be over there teaching them, shooting them into Russia. We ain't trying to get in the war. But I'm saying, though, you get on Zelensky. President Trump, Zelensky is a good guy. You said it out your own mouth. That Zelensky's the good guys. I'm saying, how long and how much do we have to go over this? Zelensky is in Europe. He's not in NATO, but Ukraine is in Europe now. They're allies. These are America's friends. Maintain the world order since World War II. That no foreign country can go take and redraw international borders as they're established. That's the world order, and it has been maintained. I hear people hate on the United States all the time. What about Vladimir himself? I heard Vladimir give a speech, y'all. Not too after President Bush went into Iraq and there was no weapons of mass destruction, I heard Vladimir Putin give a speech, and he spoke against American aggression, and he spoke against America not being a leader in the free world. I heard the speech. It was a beautiful speech. But the thing about America, as bad as it might look when America went into Iraq, it might not have been the right decision, but America did not redraw international borders. When America left Iraq, Iraq still had the same border, and the Iraqis were still in charge of their government. It don't matter if it was a different set of Iraqis, it was still the Iraqis. They didn't redraw a border. It's not like they said, okay, we're going to take Baghdad and all the sections to the east, or to the west, and we're going to make that now a part of. They didn't do that. You see what I'm saying? That's the law. And see, most people might not understand or know international law, but that's international law. So Putin, and guys, we're going to get back to the news, but I want to give you the backstory if you're not aware of history or if you're not aware of the situation as well. So Putin, he's having a problem. Okay, so according to Putin, this is Putin's side of the story, and I'm not trying to misquote him, but from my understanding, what Vladimir's saying, the reason why he's doing this in the first place is because Ukraine used to be a part of the USSR, which was Russia. All these nations, these little about, I forget how many, I don't want to say 32 because I want to be precise, but they were all a part of Russia and the USSR. Okay, so what Vladimir is saying is there's still people who used to be Russian citizens. I could understand this. I've explained this before. Let's say Texas annexes from the United States. You know what I'm saying? So the United States ain't the United States no more, and it becomes something else, and Texas is Ukraine, and now it's its own country. Well, 10 years later, there's still going to be people in Texas that are, Americans. They were part of. So Ukraine was a part of Russia, so I understand what Vladimir's saying. So he's saying that there are Ukrainian citizens or Russian citizens who are complaining about Zelensky, and they don't like what's going on. So he feels like he's a liberator, like he's got to go liberate the Russians. And he wants, listen, see, when you know what a man's grievances are, that's how you can make peace. You got to know what the man complaining about. You got to have wisdom. You got to have empathy. And ain't no session and you can't get taught this. Some of this stuff is God-given. I could speak to Vladimir's problem. Because look, as much as we love or do not love President Zelensky, the goal is to keep Ukraine intact. At the end of the war, Zelensky still has to be the president of Ukraine, but I would bring forth a guarantee to Vladimir that at least if Zelensky doesn't leave, that Russia would be guaranteed free. Ukraine would be guaranteed free and fair elections. Because the majority or a lot of what Putin is complaining about is actually Russian citizens or ex-Russian citizens who are Ukrainian citizens. Look, when Putin went into Ukraine, he was expecting to take Ukraine within 72 hours. He almost did. What he expected was, because of the complaints he was getting, he misjudged. He thought in his mind that Ukraine wanted to be a part of Russia again, or there was a large enough segment of Ukrainians who were former Russians who did not like Zelensky, and they wanted to return to Russia. So you got to understand, this is why this war is being fought. Putin feels like he's justified because the Ukrainians were calling from him, and Zelensky is an illegitimate leader of Ukraine. That's why President Trump is always saying that these two men hate each other, and that's why Ghost said, listen, you just got to understand some things. If I had two people, I'm talking any situation, if I had two human beings that didn't like each other, what I would be trying to do is to get them to sit down together to face each other. It ain't to me, like, you trying to end the war. That's a stepped process that's gonna take work for you to achieve a lasting peace. But what I'm saying, ghostwriter, as a man or having common sense or being a political analysis, my first goal would try to get them in a room together, to get them to face off. If you ain't got to shake his hand, one of y'all could scoff at the other and y'all could sit with your backs toward each other, and you could be as big of a child as you choose to be, Mr. Zelensky and Mr. Putin. But I'm saying what I would be trying to do is get the men in the room together. At least that's your first step. Because they hate each other. So I'm saying President Trump, at least he's trying to work it, and we're going to get back to the news stories. Y'all coming to the screen. I ask that y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell. I see, is that Miss Down South? Good morning, UMOGA. Good morning, JA, excuse me. Good morning. Y'all jump down in the comments. Republicans, Independent, and Democrats alike. We out here in Connecticut. Still on the We the People tour, day number 99. Let's get it, guys. The Treasury Department said a new economic penalties will target Russia's two largest oil companies, Open Joint Stock Company and Rosneft Oil Company, and Lukoil OAO, as well as their subsidiaries. Rosneft and Lukoil are estimated to account for nearly half of all Russian oil production. That's going to hurt them. I promise you, those sanctions, they're very similar to tariffs, and that is going to kill the Russian economy. Ghost was one of the first ones to say that the Russian oil was funding the war. That's one of his biggest commodities. But not only Russian oil, you got Russian beef. This is what I'm saying. If President Trump is using the tariffs as a weapon, the tariffs are so very similar to sanctions. So what I'm saying, before I even announce sanctions or begin to announce sanctions, and he noticed, the reason why he noticed, because I heard his cabinet members speaking on CNN, and they were telling the steps. So listen, he understands this. He using tariffs as a weapon as well. He said, I heard somebody say whenever they were trying to, I think it might have been him, they were trying to resolve the beef between India and Pakistan. He said he was going to put tariffs on them. He was going to levy them huge tariffs on them. And he said they called his phone within 2 days and said, hey, we want to make a deal. We ain't going to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? That money will make you change your mind. United States economy is powerful. They could cripple those countries. So I'm saying I would be using tariffs. I would be using every weapon possible. He's like, oh, I want to stay diplomatic to Russia and hope that Putin's coming to the table. That's not working. He didn't try being nice. He didn't try calling, and Putin's defying, and Putin's killing citizens and children. Is Zelensky doing that? If Zelensky was killing Russian children, Putin would get on the phone, cry to President Trump, and he'd be going off on Zelensky. Zelensky, your homeboy, Putin's the enemy, bro. It don't matter if Putin's bigger or stronger. You bigger and stronger than Putin. They could barely handle your little small homeboy. You know they can't handle the United States. He don't want it with you, man. You got to have the intestinal fortitude to be like Ronald Reagan and understand and have the wisdom. Yeah, he got nuclear weapons, but you got to have the understanding and wisdom. He's not finna destroy his country or the world. There are situations where I believe he will be willing to do that, but this ain't one of them. You just don't go in there blazing and throwing stuff against the wall. You got to use wisdom and tact, man. You bigger and stronger than he is. And President Trump, tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong, or if I'm wrong, or if you don't know, just go get Stephen Miller. He know the law. Bring him in there and tell me what the world order is. Y'all thinking about world order like this is some end of the world time Antichrist stuff. All the world order I'm speaking of is international law. The law is the order of the world. So the law says that you can't redraw borders. So he is already taken Crimea. So he is already in violation of the law. So what I'm saying is, why don't we start right there? My biggest, good morning, Avi. I got a channel member in the, make sure y'all double tap the screen if y'all haven't liked the video. Look, my biggest thing is this. You saying to stop right where you are and y'all just keep the land. You giving up big chunks of land to Russia, Ukraine. I'm saying like that looks like a win for him, even though you might achieve peace and that might personally make you look good, President Trump. I'm saying I don't think that's a win for America. Because I'm saying I seen an American president who was a Republican whenever it wasn't Russia. I'm talking about this was a time when Russia had Ukraine. Ukraine was a part of Russia. You want me to pull up all the countries in the USSR? It was a bunch of them. So Russia was ginormous. Ukraine was a part of Russia. You had all of them together. And President Ronald Reagan, he stood them up without a shot fired. Of course, there was Cold War. I mean, there was like proxy wars, just like there is right now. Like Ukraine is basically a proxy. It could be a proxy war between America and Russia. Communists and democracy been fighting for a while, just like the Muslims. You got to understand this stuff before you can have the wisdom to be able to make the decision. You understand that? So that's all I'm saying, man. It's just that you just got to be able to speak to Putin because you know what he wants. Not only is it about the land, because listen, bruh, I'm bringing my Oracle. This is the Oracle series, man. I'm woo-sawing you guys, okay? Not only is it about the land, that he trying to make a deal about the land, it's about the land, but it's about Zelensky too. Listen to me. It's not just about the land, it's about Zelensky. Putin has a problem with Zelensky. He doesn't want Zelensky to be the leader of Russia, of Ukraine, excuse me. You have to, I will understand, it take wisdom. What the Bible say? That you got to be wise and soft as a dove. Man, I'll be over there sliding in there to Putin. Hey, come here, old Vladimir. You know Vladimir got that pimp walk. I hit him with the pimp walk too. You know what I'm saying? I hit Vladimir with that pimp walk. I'll be like, hey, Vladimir, come here, my boy. Let me holler at you real quick. Now, listen, I know you don't want Zelensky to go. But, I mean, you want Zelensky gone, but you know I can't do that right now. So y'all just make the peace deal. And I can promise you one thing. If y'all make that peace deal, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to assure you that as soon as them bullets stop firing, if you saying that the Ukrainians hate them, let's let the people decide. If you saying the Ukrainians hate them, then let's have an election as soon as you make this peace deal. And then, you know, and if they want, and you could do as much propaganda as you want to get them removed, just make sure it's free and fair elections. And let the Ukrainian people decide their future. You got to shoot that to Putin. Because you just talking about land. That's why he ain't just wanting the land. He wants Zelensky gone too. You know, maybe if Putin think that, you know, that Russia have an opportunity to get some pro-Russian new leader, that's more on his, and maybe that scares Europe. But I'm saying you let the people decide the Ukrainians' future. Who else should decide the Ukrainians' future? The European leaders? The American leaders? The Russian leaders? Or the Ukrainian people? That's A, B, C, D, guys. Y'all like the videos, y'all coming to the screen for me, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Back to the news. President Trump announcing new sanctions on Russian oil. Finally, now is the time to stop the killing and for an immediate ceasefire, said Treasury Secretary Scott B. In a statement, given President Putin's refusal to end this senseless war, Treasury is sanctioning Russia's two largest oil companies that fund the Kremlin's war machine. Treasury is prepared to take further action if necessary to support President Trump's efforts to end yet another war. We encourage our allies to join us in and adhere to these sanctions. Look, this is what I gotta say. Thank God for Scott B. Because these people are advising President Trump. It all started with Marco Rubio. He talked to the Secretary of State, what's that, Lavrov dude in Russia, and he talking to the man, he's saying, okay, we finna do a meeting with Putin. So if we do this meeting with Putin, are you ready? You all ready to sign a peace deal? Because I'm saying you calling President Trump and you on the phone with President Trump. See, President Trump, for some reason, he's soft on the dude. But this Marco Rubio, and I'm not soft on you or I'm not soft on him, because like Marco Rubio knew before President Trump was ever elected, that Putin dude, he a war criminal. We know Putin a thug. So Marco talking to his counterpart, and Marco want to know, hey, are you y'all trying to do peace, or what y'all trying to do? You just want a TV op? You trying to get out of these sanctions? I'm saying he like a thief. Listen, Guys, let me tell y'all what Vladimir Putin is, what the game he trying to pull on President Trump. See, I ain't hating on President Trump not one time this morning. And as long as we ain't talking about economic issues, I'm probably not gonna be hating on him, okay? Just don't be making no peace deals for TV that don't last. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm a clown on you if you I'm a clown you, okay? You gotta really do the work. So listen, this is the thing. Well, how Vladimir is trying to play President Trump. You know, you got a female. You ever had a female that she was like trying to holler at you or something like that? You trying to holler at her? You want to holler at a girl? Y'all ever had a female you was trying to holler at? So you think baby girl fine and you trying to get at her? But you know she got a boyfriend, but her boyfriend's some dude you don't like anyway, so you don't care she got a boyfriend. You trying to get at her twice as hard. So you slide that old female or whatever like that, and you try to spit your game at her. She like, hey, you know, I got a boy, but she flirt with you. You know, she give her your number, you texting her, she ain't really hit. If you a clown, you gonna keep chasing her. If you like me, Ghost, though, you gonna turn your back on her. And see, this is what Ghost used to do, though. I used to turn my back to the female. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was big pimping. Look at this fat boy turning his back to this fine girl. But see, them girls, they got more game than the dude. You know what she'll do? She come slide back at you. You got to understand the game. You turn your back to walk away. You wanted her. She didn't want you. You turning your back to walk away, and she grabbing your coat. Hold up. That's what Putin do to President Trump every time. He called him one time. He asked him to stop. Will he trying to be nice? You know what I'm saying? And then he come on TV and he say, Vladimir's got nice words, but it's not actions. And right when he walking away, he go, that girl, she tugging on his jacket. So he done walk back over there to see what baby want. You know what I'm saying? He trying to holler at the little girl. He trying to holler like he trying to pimp. And he walk back over there and he try to walk away. He come back out again. He say, oh, Vladimir doing A, B, and C. And he walk. And I'm saying, when is that going to stop? That's just the game. And while y'all playing this game, or President Trump, while you playing the game with him, there, like you said, you announcing, you letting us know how many dying. So you know how many dying. 7,000 a week. Because like you said, too, neither one of the dudes like each other. You got two children. You got a big clown and a little clown, or a big brother and a little brother, and but you know big brother wrong. So you got to stand up for what's right. That's what America do. And you daddy. You can't be no scared. You can't be no favorite. You can't be none of that. You got to have this wisdom. I'm saying you can look at as many charts and as many graphs, and you could get as smart as you want to get, but you need to have that basic wisdom and be able to know how to use wisdom, common sense, with the charts and the science and the data. You gotta mix the two. You can't just use because that AI stuff or that data, it don't just work by itself. You gotta have some wisdom to mix with that. It's two children fighting. But take two of your children, President Trump, close your eyes and imagine they fighting. Because as much as you might not like Zelensky personally, you gotta have love for the Ukrainian people because that's your brethren. NATO or not. And of course, obviously you love Vladimir, so. But I'm saying though, like, you know, big brother wrong. You can't stand for the wrong. Oh, big brother destroy you. So what? That's not no leadership. That's weakness. Oh, big brother gonna destroy you, so you gotta get out or get. Nah, that ain't what I'm finna do. I'm daddy. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab the big brother by his shirt, and I'm gonna drag him. I told y'all if y'all had Big P, what Big P here himself. This ghostwriter crazy moment right here, so y'all bear with me. If y'all had big ghosts with y'all, man, I'd have them countries bowing to that American flag, boy. I'm telling you. When President Trump go meet Xi Jinping in South Korea next week, He'll be doing a bow to he'll be doing that Hebrew bow to the American flag, boy. I had all them boys bowing to that flag. You just gotta have the wisdom to know how to manipulate that situation. That's not just experience, that's God-given. The Bible say in a multitude of counsel, there's safety. So there is safety in having generals and people who have dealt with CIA operatives who study and they know everything about Vladimir. You know there's people who have studied every action of Vladimir Putin for the safety of the American people. So, yeah, it's good to have those people in the room with you. And if it was me, I'd be like President Obama. After hours, I'd be in that CIA building with my feet propped up, getting all the extra everything to know and have the wisdom and understanding to be able to make the proper decisions. Thank God for Scott B. Thank God for Marco Rubio to allow President Trump to see what really needs to happen. Guys, as y'all come into the stream, I ask y'all double tap the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bells. Best earlier Wednesday hinted the action was imminent. Yeah, they already did it. Sanctions on Russian oil. Don't buy Russian oil. Don't buy Russian beef. Don't buy Russian nothing. Telling reporters there would be a substantial pickup in sanctions against Russia. Don't buy Russian beef, don't buy Russian oil, don't buy the Russian nothing. If you want to do business with the United States, if I'm President Trump, this is how I'm talking. Russia, if you want to do business with the United States right now, until you end that war in Ukraine, we're going to put 3,000% tariffs on everything Russian. Sanctions, he don't want to go that hard though on his boyfriend like that. You know, that's his boyfriend. I don't mean that like that's really his boyfriend. You know how you got those guys, they like boyfriend, like, BFF or broskies or whatever you call them, boy, whatever. That Putin is President Trump's boy, whatever. You know, his romantic, as a straight man having some kind of feelings for a man that's different than he got that for Putin. Russian president that had been expected to take place in Hungary in the coming weeks. The Kremlin said there was never a day set for the summit. But yeah, you was trying to get up with him, make yourself look good, Vladimir. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get him on your side because you know. Vladimir watched President George. He watched President Reagan. He saw what happened. I know he was a young KGB operative coming up in Russia, being trained and indoctrinated in that communist. He was indoctrinated from a child, President Trump. You can't convert him. He gonna convert you. He gonna turn you. He gonna make you a dictator, a communist lover, authoritarian, or a Marxist. You seem like you could be easily manipulated, President Trump. I'm not hating on you. I'm just speaking facts, your personality type. You a businessman. That's what y'all do, right? Y'all got to make the deals. I'm saying if you want to make this deal and achieve peace like you promised, without looking like you just gave concessions to Russia, or you instead of him bowing to you, you bowed to him. Because I'm telling y'all, this meeting that's coming up with Xi Jinping, I'm talking about this for all the marbles, really. You talking about what's that on the line at stake? It might not be big to you. Ain't no Americans dying. But China wants Taiwan too. China and Russia and them BRICS, India and Brazil, they trying to build a coalition to overthrow America and NATO. They want to be through with that. All this stuff is on the line with President Trump going over there and talking to that Chinese leader. This ain't no TV stuff right here. I hope we understand what that meeting is. That's really, really, really important. You got to have your pimp shoes on. You got to know what you're doing. And the whole goal and the whole mission is for America to win. The United States. See, as America win, President Trump, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get you that, you know what I'm saying, get you one of them ballrooms. You know what I'm saying? Get you 100,000, 90,000, 80,000 square foot ballrooms. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do that, President Trump, as America win, because see, while all y'all hating on the ballroom, when he leave, guess what? the next Democratic president who elected, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be sipping on the Hey, y'all, they hating on the ballrooms. When President Trump leaves, the next Democratic president gonna be in there sipping out the little gold cups in the ballroom. You're gonna be in that ballroom too. You see what I'm saying? That's why it goes. I don't care about all that. You can get whatever you want to extra as well. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, as you get whatever you get extra as well, you just need to remember the United States. You need to remember America. That's what I'm saying. Trump said on Wednesday he canceled good afternoon or good morning, Ahmad, wherever you are in America. I just wanted to recognize one of my channel members and moderators. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like we were going to get the place we have to get, Trump said, though he added there would be some time in the future and maintain he still believed Putin wanted peace. So I ask that you guys will like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, in this stream, everyone is welcome. I just ask that you guys be respectful to others. I welcome you guys, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. Jump down in the comments and let your voices be heard. One last thing, we do have to pay the bills, guys. I do not have any sponsors yet. I'm not taking money from no party, no one else, just you guys. So, guys, super chat, super stickers, super thanks. They start at 99 cents. If you want to donate to the channel, start a conversation, have your comment read, just hit that button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Also, guys, channel memberships, they're $3.99. You do not have to be a channel member every single month, but if you want to donate to the channel, that's the best way to do it. If you want to start the truth movement, man, just hit the button with the $sign in it, and much love. I appreciate your donations. Let's jump back into the news story. So NATO's root, that's the Supreme Commander sitting alongside Trump, said the sanction boosts pressure on Putin to come to the table and negotiate. That's what you can do. You got to get tough with him. It's all about changing the calculus, making sure that Putin understands that the president's vision this weekend of having a ceasefire stop where they are, as you literally said, that this has to be step one now, and for him to really accept that vision and come to the table, and then you have to put pressure. And that is exactly what you did today. Well, thank God for the NATO Supreme Commander as well. You see what I'm saying? And a multitude of counsel, there's safety, man. The announcement Wednesday means that Russia's 4 largest oil companies have now been hit by U.S. sanctions. Stop buying Russia's oil. Cut them off. Cut them off. I'm saying the man paying Kim Jong-un for troops. You know them North Koreans that's giving their lives being sacrificed and killed quickly because he's got a political problem at home because the people want to know why you want my son to go fight this war. You went over there and started this with Ukraine, trying to take over that country. You haven't been successful to this point. It's been 4 years. We done gave you 1.5 million or over 1 million of our children. Why you keep getting our children? So, okay, you know, Putin, a little slick fox, he done went to North Korea. You know he paying him. And so, you know why I say that? He trying to pay Cuban mercenaries to fight the war. He just needs anybody to help him try to fight this war. This is about pride now, man. This man trying to prove a point. That's all this is about, is his ego. Because he knows that as wanting to be like America and to be a superpower, he know they should have won that war, like he said, within 72 hours. And they weren't unsuccessful. So in the meantime, he done lost half of the Russian hardware. His army has been decimated, and he's still trying to fight the war. Why would Putin still trying to fight this war? He's trying to fight the war because his pride is hurt, man. He cannot let Russia get embarrassed like that. I mean, you're talking about Ukraine. If he can't take Ukraine, he can't take Poland. If the Americans and the Europeans are standing behind them, that's why it's ever so important. Look, Putin has displayed this aggression for the better part of 20 years. You think that President Trump is the first president that dealt with Putin? Y'all don't remember them famous words with President Bush? President Obama had problems. You don't remember the red lines in Syria? He had problems with Putin. Every American president has had this same problem with Vladimir. President Biden had the same problem with Vladimir. So I'm saying, like, this ain't just a Biden against Trump, a Republican against Democrat. This should be a bipartisan issue as Americans. If you guys have any kind of care about the future of the world, you got to understand who Mr. Putin is. Mr. Putin is one of the richest men in the world. He got undeclared wealth. He lives in a castle. He parties with Russian models. He has his hands into Russian underworld activities. A common mobster. How different is he? Listen, President Trump different than the other American president. He recognized in South America. I'm sorry, my Democratic friends. I'm going to have to come against you a little bit about them strikes against these countries in South America who they kind of state-sponsored drugs. They kind of sponsor their hands. They crooked. They corrupt. They corrupt. These world leaders, bro, they help selling drugs. In January, the Biden administration imposed sanctions on Russian oil companies, Gazprom, Neft, and Sergei Freitas, but held off imposing penalties on Rosneft and Lukoil over concerns that it could drive up global energy prices. Well, President Trump said they got that down pat. According to experts, Rosneft and Lukoil, the companies targeted Wednesday, are two of the world's biggest energy companies. Think about that. Russia, their economy is 10th in the world. There are American states besides California that their economy, Texas economy, is just as good or better than the Russian economy. GDP bigger, that's an American state. So their economy, it's not like they're like as rich as America or might you say even China. They're nowhere as close as rich as California. See, it's common sense and wisdom. So if they ain't got as much money as American, there are oil companies that are that big in the world, making that much money competing in the world. I'm saying if Russia economy like number 11 or 12 in the world, but they oil companies like top 5 in the world, 2 of them, then you know that the majority of them, I don't got to look it up. Some of this stuff I don't have to look up. I could just put it together. That's why people lose arguments with me, because my number's 3.3 or 3.9. They're not going to be accurate because I'm not looking it up. But I understand the concept of how you get to, I am the algorithm. My mind is the algorithm. That's natural, God-given. You can't read that in no book. That ain't got nothing to do with pronouncing the word right. It's the Rain Man you talking to over here. So I know them 2 companies right there, they gotta be funding majority of the Russian economy, which President Trump and them went and looked it up, and they are. And he targeting them. Yeah, you gotta cut them at the neck, at the throat. And then going to talk to China, I'm saying that's the trifecta if you could pull it off. He always in position of greatness. He's always in that position. I guess it might not be easy to be great because you got to make the right moves and the right calls, but he's always in the spot to achieve it. You just got to pull it off. You got to be able to pull it off. A number of Russian-based subsidiaries, majority owned by Rosneft and Lukoil, that means they got a bunch of companies underneath them. Giants, mega corporations, Russian money, have also been sanctioned. Hit them all, hit them at the knees. The sanctions announced Wednesday marked the first against Russia since President Trump entered office into January, so 10 months in. President Trump, I don't think we should be having to pull at you and tug at you this hard to get you to understand what it is. I understand you want to come and do everything a different way and try, and that's good to a certain extent. But once you see that that way ain't working, you got to get back on track and then swing back around and try that again another time. But this time you got to stand against Russia aggression. Because if not, they're going to keep being aggressive. And we're going to have another president who ain't his friend, and he going to have to be dealing just like President Biden and President Bush and President Obama going to have to be dealing with this clown, because you know what Joe Biden did? Joe Biden said, listen, man, I'm so old. No hating on you, President Biden, but you know he towards the end of his life, man. I done been in politics so long, I know a crook when I see a crook. You want to talk to President Putin, President Biden? This is what he did. Hold on a second, y'all. President Biden, you sure y'all don't want to talk to President Putin? Y'all give me a second. President Biden went and talked to him. He know a snake oil salesman when he see one. He was vice president when President Obama was going through it with him. He know him real good. He was in Congress back when Putin took over. He know him real good. So see, that's another thing in wisdom. While you sitting there hating on your predecessor, ghostwriter, he's wise. I ain't into all the little childish stuff. Ghostwriter who wise, I'm going to be looking at the predecessor like, oh, predecessor knew the dude and he was standoffish with him. But see, me, I'm a businessman. I'm trying to get money. I want to Trump Towers in Moscow, or maybe Putin got some dirt on me or something. I don't know what the problem is, but I'm just being too cool with him. Thank God for Scott B and Secretary Marco Rubio. Yeah, ain't no hate on you, President Trump. Big Ghost gonna tell the real, the trill, and extra real and extra trill when we talk about economic issues, because that's not working. But we ain't talking about economic issues. He's going to overseas next week, and we gonna talk about it. We gonna cover it. He meeting with China. That's a ginormous meeting in many different ways. You could fumble with that meeting because you going over there. President Trump, one thing, y'all listen to Ghost now, one thing I hear President Trump always talking about is these people being his friend. Putin ain't your friend. Xi Jinping is not your friend, President Trump. You saying this dude is not your friend, is your friend. He is not your friend. I could promise you. You could be saying he's good friends to project. That might be your hustle. You know what I'm saying? That might be like how you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be, because he going to come to the table like in the wrong mind frame. You know, if you talking smack about him before you go meet him, you trying to make a deal. You want to say good things about him, but in real life, Ghost ain't going to meet with him. So Ghost going to tell you the truth. I'm talking to the American people and the men and women who watch this, who got the power, who listen to Ghost's words, because they understand Ghost got that wisdom. Nah, he is not your friend. You be saying he your friend, he not your friend. That Chinese leader is not your friend. As a matter of fact, he hates your guts. He really don't want to meet with you. He really don't like you, but he got to. He ain't got no choice. See, they trying to move America out the way, but they haven't. So before they do, President Trump has the authority, the ability, the capability, and nobody can stop him from crippling their economy. He done it before with that Chinese leader in power. And so he understands what President Trump could smack him in the mouth with the U.S. economy. So really, he has no choice. Little President Trump, you could little boy him. But he not your friend, though. Hakeem Jeffries would be your friend before. President Trump don't understand that. He think the Democrats, some extreme right terrorists or some extreme left terrorists that killed Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. or some extreme left terrorist. So now he running around saying that, you know, him and Stephen Miller talking about domestic terrorism. But I don't hear nobody besides maybe Abby Phillips on CNN. Shout out CNN and Abby and all Aaron and Kaylin and all those good reporters. But I don't hear nobody really but Abby talk about they had a plot to kill Hakeem Jeffries, some right-wing lunatic. Shout out Pam Bondi for catching that. Department of Justice. There was a plot to kill the Democratic leader in Congress, the House of Representatives, Hakeem Jeffries. A plot. Look it up, this news, if you don't know. And they caught it. The Department of Justice caught that. Some right-wing lunatic. They on both sides. Like Ghost said, I got the rest of this news story from the Associated Press. It was published yesterday, hot off the press. Trump's efforts to end the war that started with Russia's all-out invasion of its neighbor more than 3 years ago have failed to gain traction. He trying to be cool with him. Trump has repeatedly expressed frustration with Putin's refusal to budge from his conditions because you're trying to be cool with him for a settlement after Ukraine offered a ceasefire and direct peace talks because he's trying to be cool with him. Thank God for Marco Rubio. That's the only reason President Trump ain't going to meet with him. You gonna listen? He gonna, you know, you got y'all. If y'all don't know Vladimir, y'all could just Google Vladimir, his pimp walk. Vladimir Putin. It's like he be holding that left hand so still, bro. He got a pimp walk. And then you got President Trump, big tall self come out, and they on TV and they look all pretty. You got them pretty American machinery and all that stuff happening. But ain't nothing happen when y'all finish. Marco said, nah, we're not going to do no TV. We're going to stop with the TV stuff and do the work. Stop with the tactical stuff and come up with some strategy. A real strategy. I'm saying, I know Marco busy, you gave him 1,000 hats to wear, but if he had the time to spend on that one issue, or you need to get bright people like Ghost who could do that for you so you could get a substantial plan when you first go over there. You ain't got to be coming back. Ain't no more bullets fired. When it's a ceasefire, it's a ceasefire. The bullets stop. Because if you don't do it right, and you know Zelensky and Putin hate each other, if you don't do it right, as soon as they sign the paper, something stupid gonna happen and the bullets gonna be flying again. You gotta know what you're doing. You could pretty much bully Zelensky either way you want. You know what Putin wants, so you gotta speak to what he wants. You gotta speak to what he wants. He don't just want land. That's why you giving him land. You saying he want all of Ukraine. It ain't really about that either. He wants Zelensky gone. Zelensky cannot be gone when this world war is over, but you got to know how to talk to Putin to assure him that the Ukrainians need to decide their future. And that is the right thing for everyone. See, Ghost ain't trying to get no Trump Tower and no Moscow. He don't know Zelensky either. It ain't neither way. I'm going to give you what's straight up, what's right. Facts for free. For free. One of the best litigators in America just haven't been discovered and realized by all but the people who know. I'm giving you that advice for free. There you go. I ain't got nothing against you. I just want it to be done right. Yeah, if I'm going to be talking, it's going to have to be done right. I'm going to clown you if it ain't. If the American people are suffering behind your economic policies, you getting clowned. America is a rich nation, again, $21 trillion in the investments. What can you say? You can't hate on that. See, the Democrats, they be, hey, you can't hate on that. But then you go turn around and ask for $230 from the Department of Justice. If you trying to do that, man, don't be talking, saying all that stuff out loud, man. It just sound bad. I could help you. So, right, we going to get back to Ukraine. I could help y'all solve this budget crisis in 10 seconds. How much money you want to bet I could help y'all solve that stalemate in 15 seconds? I know what both sides want. I know what President Trump want, and the Republicans. I've been listening to you, old Speaker Johnson. I always liked you, buddy. I supported you from day one. Back when Hakeem and them said they took up for you. Remember that? You might not remember that, but I do. Hakeem and them, they took up for you and made sure you was there the first time now. Don't forget that. Okay, back. I always like you, Speaker Johnson, but I hear what you're saying, and I hear your valid points. The gist or the foundation of what you're saying is right. The government do need to be open, and the Democrats, yeah. And what the Democrats are asking for, some of that is too much, yeah. But what I'm saying is, though, they do have valid arguments. And I don't see how they could lose either way it go, because the premiums are going to go higher. So even if they open up the government and y'all didn't do nothing about it, y'all still getting blamed, because they could say we tried and the premiums went higher when we tried. I don't see how they lose. Now, if they start adding everything else in there besides healthcare, it becomes partisan. Because him cutting or firing federal workers and all that stuff, people going to feel left and right about all of that other stuff. But I think healthcare, if they stay on healthcare, I think on healthcare, they got to win an argument, because that's going to affect a lot of people. And ain't nobody trying to pay more money for the same policy that they just had. Inflation kills politicians. Do you realize back in the day, when gasoline was $1.50, and if it costs $4.50 tomorrow, it's the same gallon of gasoline. And people realize they're not stupid. Why am I paying more money for the same thing? They don't want to hear nothing else. That kills you. It kills politicians. Inflation kills politicians. But to get back to the point, to solve the problem is, all you have to do is just have those talks. The Democrats, they have to realize, they have to understand that the Republicans will be working against themselves now if them premiums do go higher. It might be a good thing for the Democrats if them premiums go higher, even if it's for a couple months, because it validates your argument. So really, I think either way the Democrats will go, they will win. You just have to know what that side, when you negotiate, you got to know what they want and be able to speak to what they want fairly. I would be a great mediator. Great mediator. Because you got to fairly, and when you fairly speak with truth and no self-intentions, if you're solving this problem to both sides, because it's a compromise. President Trump, you're going to have to give up something. It's not like you ain't got the money to be able to somewhat pay for those healthcare subsidies. So if you got to move tariff money, why would the Democrats be opposed to using some of the tariff money to pay for the healthcare subsidies? Bro, we got so much information to go over, because we got to talk about that court decision on November 5th too. You know, I'm a legal person and I rock with the courts. That branch of government is my branch. I never run for Congress. I never run for Senate or the House of Representatives. No political office, just advice. But I'll stay filing lawsuits. That's my branch of government, the court. That being said, November 5th, it's no way in the world the court could stop President Trump from using tariffs, y'all. I'm sorry. They could limit how he used the tariffs and when he used the tariffs, but to stop him from completely using the tariffs and make him give that money back would be a travesty to America. I don't think that'll happen. I pray that don't happen. I'm an independent man, and I want to see America win. And America has gotten a lot of money since President Trump has been in office. The people who know, they know. The people who know, they know. America has gotten rich, taking in a whole lot of brand new revenue. What you gonna say? How can a Democrat argue against that? We're a Democrat in a Titan brew. I always like to my channel moderators, and I like to acknowledge y'all. If y'all haven't liked the video, y'all double tap the screen for me, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. We're gonna get back to the news. But my question is, though, that I have for you guys, I'm just wondering, I'm saying, like, I be trying to speak the truth to him, man, try to help him out. You know what I'm saying? Trump said Tuesday that his plan for a swift meeting with Putin was on hold. I don't even know why you want to do that. I guess you want to ride the momentum. You trying to ride the momentum from a peace treaty or a ceasefire with Israel, but bullets started flying again. You got to go fix that. You got to make sure you really got a ceasefire before you could. So, okay, you got a ceasefire over there. It ain't no sense in going to do a meeting with this dude because President Zelensky was asking for the tomahawks. President Trump was thinking about headed towards giving them the tomahawks. And so Putin called him because he don't want them American missiles in his city. He's scary. He know he ain't going to be able to hold up. So he called President Trump. President Trump, that's that girl tugging on your shoulder. You know he still ain't no good. Just because he called you today, he still don't like you. He just needs you right now. So that's why he on the phone with you. He's scared of them tomahawks. But he ain't trying to stop killing no people. He don't care if no Ukrainians die, no Russians die. He don't care who died. He just want his ego, his pride. His pride hurt. So you got to sanctions. You got to keep and I like how he's still talking good about it. I'm going to slap you in them. I'm going to do like you do. That's what Putin do. President Trump get on the phone and talk to him, and he talking all nice. Or President, see, because overseas, they know, just like with Americans, Governor Newsom, that's his job to get at him neck to neck. But overseas, they know they just going to flatter him. Flattery. Oh, Putin probably... They talking for 2.5 hours, y'all. What in the world could they be talking about for 2.5 hours? Putin over there, oh, big President T, big President T. Big President T, I was thinking that, maybe we can go fishing. You know what I'm saying? Build the Trump Towers in Moscow after you president, and we could go fishing with no shirt off and play with the bears and the mountain lions. You know what I'm saying? He on the phone shooting game to him. And then the next hour, he gonna kill some Ukrainian children, launching missiles into Ukraine. On purpose. He won't let, Zelensky can't do that. He got to play by the rules and just kill Russian soldiers. But Putin to get mad and then just go kill some children. Go blow up a hospital just because he mad. That ain't got nothing to do with the war. Just because he mad. And he do it a lot of times after he get off the phone with President Trump. So that's what happened the other day. Tomahawks. Oh, no tomahawks. And then Zelensky come, he getting on to Zelensky. So thank God for Marco Rubio and Scott Bessent and the NATO Supreme Commander to come talk some sense and say, hold up a second, man, what we got going on over here? Okay, Marco first. He on the phone with the Secretary of State. Oh, this dude said we finna meet Putin overseas. So, you meeting the Chinese leader, the two biggest world economies. Every TV camera in Asia, is about to descend on South Korea. So before we get the TV on in Asia, in China, then we gonna do a little Putin. He gonna do a little strut out there, little Putin. But this is what Marco's saying. This dude ain't trying to get peace. We don't need no TV deals. I know you love the cameras, and I know you a TV president, but you gotta understand this ain't about television, bruh. This is real lives. This is much more important than television. So now we don't need to meet with this dude until he ready for real ceasefire. So if you want to do the ceasefire where they are, that's cool. And then y'all can negotiate the rest. But you put money in the mix and you use the power of the money against him. Don't just put sanctions on his oil, put sanctions on his beef. You need to do the work. I'm not going to do the work for you. You have to do the work. Find out where his money's coming from. The graphs, all the information. You are the U.S. government. All you have to do is delegate people to do this. Where is the money coming from? Find his companies, top 20 companies, the money coming from. Ghostwriter will be trying to cripple all of them, even without the sanctions, because I want to win, and I want America to win. So I'm going to be out there trying to figure out, be creative. If you know me, of ways that we can steal their money and get their money so they ain't got no money. If you want to win, if you really care about them people that's dying, because it's a lot of Russian children and a lot of Ukrainian children that's giving their lives, and South Korean children and now Cuban children, young men just giving their lives for nothing. Senseless. If y'all haven't liked the video, please double tap the screen for Ghostwriter, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Guys, I've been streaming for about an hour and 10 minutes, man, giving y'all some great content, man. If any one of you guys want to donate to the channel, man, super chat, super stickers, and super thanks, they start at 99 cents. I would appreciate it. You hit the button with the $sign in it. Your donations are much appreciated. So Senator Richard Blumenthal discusses his bill proposing additional sanctions on Russia. Meanwhile, in what appeared to be a public reminder of Russian atomic arsenals, Putin on Wednesday directed drills of the country's strategic nuclear forces. That's his game. Y'all want me to give Putin's game? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get on the phone and sweet talk President Trump. That usually get it. That's why y'all see, but I've seen step 2. But step 1 is to sweet talk President Trump. So they don't know, the smart people, they watching this, so they know you got to be the last man in the room with President Trump. So after Zelensky, Putin get on the phone, but he ain't playing that game with that NATO Supreme Commander. He's a highly respected military dude. So, he go in there and talk to President Trump, and President Trump, okay, he see it, so he put the sanctions. So Putin's second step is to threaten his nuclear arsenal that he's not going to use in this situation. Why would you use, this dude is a fornicator. Is he married? He's a fornicator. You got to understand, that's what I'm saying. You got to have the wisdom. This dude, he like a playboy type dude. So them dudes, he right after he in the press conference. In the press conference, he over there looking at a girl backside in the press conference. He's a whoremonger. This man, he know if he drop a nuke, the whole world is over. Because he ain't got more nukes. He ain't got more nukes. He ain't got a better military. He ain't got a better nothing. He's inferior. He knows he's inferior. He knows it. You got to understand this. He's a mobster. He's a gangster. You need to get a gangster up there to know how they think. You ain't got profilers in the FBI who can help you do this, or you just being lazy and not doing the work. So I'm saying this dude, he care about living, man. He want to have sex. He not gonna end the world over Ukraine. I promise you, if you go at them too hard, or you just completely embarrassing them, I mean, you can make somebody with that profile type get erratic, because he has tendencies to be erratic. But he wouldn't have remained a Russian leader for 23 years if he wasn't erratic and pragmatic. That man is not stupid. He gonna flex whatever. That's what you would do too. You can't win with the game. Okay, I done tried the game. The game ain't working this time, so I'm going to remind you I got some nukes that you not going to use. See, ain't doing it. President Reagan, ain't none of that stuff going to fly. You pull your nukes up, I'm going to pull mine up. Mine bigger than yours. What you talking about? So you gonna show people your nukes? Let me show you mine. I got more than you. Mine's more of that. Mine's better than yours, bigger than yours. I'm stronger than yours. Got more money than you. You've been fighting a war for 4 years and you lost half of your military hardware. That's not what we doing over here. We didn't increase our defense spending, which is already You see what I'm saying? And we didn't increase it. And our military numbers, we increasing our military. Our military is much stronger. And it was already the strongest in the world. So if you want to flex your little weak nuclear weapons, I'll flex mine too. You're not finna use them nukes, Putin. You need to go sit down somewhere. It's time for you to sit down. That's what President Trump should say. Vladimir, it's time for you to sit down. It's time. You done had 4 years to try to take Ukraine, and you have not been successful. It's time to sit down, man. He's just in it for his pride now. Zelensky urged the European Union, the United States, and the group of 7 industrialized nations to force Russia to negotiate and table. Pressure could be applied on Moscow only through sanctions. Long-range missile capabilities and coordinated diplomacy, amongst our partners. But I'll be trying to get that word out because I had a thought that I didn't want to lose. Like, you need, just like he did with the Abraham Accords, he need to do that over in Asia, build a coalition against Russia. More international economic sanctions on Russia are likely to be discussed on Thursday at the EU summit in Brussels. On Friday, a meeting of the Coalition of the Willing, a group of 35 countries that support Ukraine. And there you go. The Coalition of the Willing, that's where it's at. 35 nations build that coalition. Strategic. Don't just have a coalition and y'all sitting down and talking about this, because you know how y'all leaders do. You ain't really trying to do nothing. You just trying to get money really for yourself and your family. I'm talking about solving the problem. Go to problem solving. Don't just be sitting down talking. I'm saying y'all need to be strategizing. Strategy. Not tactical. Tactical is good, but strategy is what you need to hit him at the knees. Zelensky credited Trump's remarks that he was considering supplying tomahawk missiles to Ukraine for Putin's willingness to meet. The American president later said he was weary of tapping into the U.S. supply of tomahawks over concerns about availability stocks. Russia has not made significant progress on the battlefield, where a war of attrition has taken a high toll on Russian infantry, and Ukraine is short of manpower. Military analysis say both sides have invested in long-range strike capabilities to hit rear areas. The Ukrainian Army General Staff and his forces struck a chemical plant Tuesday night in Russia's Bryansk region using British-made air-launched Storm Shadow missiles. The plant is an important part of the Russian military and industrial complex, producing gunpowder, explosive, missile fuel, and ammunition, is said. Russian officials in the regions confirmed an attack, but did not mention the plant. Ukraine also claimed overnight strikes on the Saransk mechanical plant in Moldova. Russia, which produces components for ammunition and mines, and the Mahakakakal oil refinery in the Donetsk region, or Republic of Russia, The Russian Defense Ministry said its air defenses downed 33 Ukrainian drones over several regions overnight, including the area around St. Petersburg. 8 airports temporarily suspended flights because of the attack. And other developments, Zelensky arrived Wednesday in Oslo, Norway, and after that flew to Stockholm, where he and the Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson signed an agreement exploring the possibility of Ukraine buying up to 150 Swedish-made Geffen fighter jets over the next decade or more. Ukraine has already received, that Ukrainian military, they're going to be stacked up. They're going to have the best weapons across the world. All Europe need to do is keep funding money. Europe, you need to send mercenaries. Y'all need to give him troops and money. Whatever you're doing in the dark, keep it in the dark, black ops, however you got to do it, give them the troops and give them the money. President Trump don't never say you could cease fire. If you're going to stop fire, I guess everybody just stop still where they are. And while we negotiate just to stop the killing. But I'm saying I wouldn't concede no land to him, though, because that's being soft. The stuff you saying, he ain't going to negotiate if you saying that Russia could stump you. What? You telling the op is listening to you harder than Zelensky is. It's just you and Zelensky in the room, but Putin listening to you harder than Zelensky is, and he ain't even in the room. Common sense. and you saying out loud on TV, though, he could stomp you. You know it's going to get out. Don't do that. Don't give up no concessions. You need to put that max pressure on Putin. That's the only way he going to get to the table. You try to be his boyfriend. It ain't work. So you got to come up with a different way. The U.S. president is expected to meet next week with Chinese President Xi Jinping when the two leaders travel to South Korea and the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. Beijing has not provided Russia with direct support for the war. China usually tries to stay out of stuff. They're pretty peaceful, but has surged sales to Russia of machine tools. They get money from you now. Micro electronics and other technology that Moscow in turn is using to produce missiles, tanks, aircraft, and other weaponry for its war against Ukraine, according to U.S. assessment. So they giving the tools, they selling the tools to Russia, basically giving the tools to Russia. Y'all talking to ghosts. So I'm going to buy your oil and give you the money to pay back to me to get the stuff you need to fight the war. The cooperation between the Russians and the Chinese, if it's 300 or 400 billion dollars being exchanged, President Trump, you could replace that with American products and money, even if you lose a little bit temporarily. Sign some kind of temporary deal with China that will replace or give more. Say if I was trying to get rid of $400 billion of Russian products, then I would sign a deal with him to get $600 billion in American products for cheaper or a discount or however you need to work it out. I'm saying I'm not sitting there, I'm not getting paid to do this and use my brain power. I'm freestyle. But I'm saying I would lose a little bit to do that. Or on the surface lose a little bit. He know how to make deals. He a businessman. Trump has said he believes the Russian-Ukrainian war will end if all NATO countries stop buying oil from Russia and place tariffs on China of 50 to 100% for its purchases of Russian petroleum, beef, and all Russian products. You stop buying Russian beef and buy our beef, I'm going to sell it for the same price or cheaper. And I'll alleviate some tariffs. He could make them deals. You just got to roll them sleeves up, get away from the cameras, and do some real work. I think he could have a big influence on Putin. Trump said of Xi Jinping, I agree. Beijing is yet to confirm that Trump and Xi will meet. I ask that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, guys. Also, in this stream, everyone is welcome. I ask that y'all be respectful to others. Republicans, independents, and Democrats. Jump down in the comment section and let your voices be heard. Also, guys, we've been streaming for about an hour and 20 minutes. We have received no donations to this point. That's fine. I appreciate you guys coming in, staying, checking in. You know what I'm saying? I ask that if you guys will, though, and if you want to, the button with the $ in it, your donations are much appreciated. Guys, I'm going to jump down in the comment section with you guys for just a minute. I'm going to kick it in down there with y'all for a second. Still out here in Connecticut, man. We the People tour. 99 days, man, I've been out here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, bro, it's a struggle at times, and it's been the time of my life as well. You just got to understand that. The good and the bad, the gift and the curse. Bro, you talking about 16 states in a row for someone who loved to travel and wanted to travel. For someone who was stuck inside a room building a business for 2 years, 21 days, 21 hours a day, excuse me. So to get out this year, you know what I'm saying? I went all over Texas for 85 days, but it was just Texas. And after doing them 3 states, to come on this tour and do what? About 14, 15 more? You know what I'm saying? All outdoor streams. I think I started inside. When I first started, I might have did 1 or 2 indoor streams. In the hotels, one of them hotels. Well, maybe one or two. I think the first month in Tennessee, you know what I'm saying, we was in the Wyndham hotels, you know what I'm saying? So, one of the vlogs says Wyndham Rewards, so definitely. But I'm saying after that, bro, like Michigan, Lake Mary, Lake Erie, all outdoor streams, man. Beautiful content. Went up to the Finger Lakes. You see what I'm saying? Up in New York. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what I did, guys. I turned it around. I flipped the camera. Y'all, I apologize about this. I've never flipped that camera before. There we go. Hey, look, Ghost Rider always turning the camera around whenever I'm showing y'all the scenery. I just learned something. You learn something new every day, guys. You know, I'm still kind of old, 45. You know, I'm not that bad with technology. Not as bad as, like, you know, the old people are, but you know what I'm saying? You still learn something new. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Been out here for 99 days. So tomorrow is day 100. And I promise y'all something special on day 100. So on day 100, I'm out here in Connecticut. You know, the tour, if you don't know, will end November 15th. So the tour ends with We the People number 10. It's the last vlog in the series. Okay, if you haven't checked out the We the Peoples, they're under the video tabs. You know what I'm saying? So go check them out. So the tour ends November 15th. We the People number 10. So that means somewhere between, I would say, November the 6th and November the 15th, we'll be down in New York City. We'll be doing live streams from New York City, and I'll record the vlog. And then that'll be the end of the tour. You know what I'm saying? So the moving around part of the tour is pretty much done. But even while we're still in the tour and we're waiting to end in New York City, I'm going to do outdoor streams. I think 1 or 2 times I'm going to do an indoor stream once or twice with you guys, because after November the 15th, you know, it's in Connecticut. It's going to be freezing. All that outdoor streaming stuff, we're going to move inside to do those streams after November 15th. Also, after November 15th, we're not going to be streaming every single day like we are out here on tour. Like, since I've been on tour, man, I did like 99 days. I'm saying 60 plus live streams, but it's like 85 live streams. Like almost every single day since I've been on tour, but that's not how we going back to that normal schedule of 2 or 3 streams a week, but it'll be all indoors. So y'all enjoy this outdoor We the People live stream, beautiful scenery if you're a nature person. Now, that being said, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time and 1 p.m. Eastern time, that's 2 separate times. The first live stream, we're going to be going over the Nobel Peace Prize winner, that Venezuelan conflict, that she's having down there. We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to give my opinion or shed some light into that. It's probably another positive live stream towards President Trump's cabinet, you know what I'm saying, because he has supported her in Venezuela, and you guys don't understand the tyranny. The Venezuelan leader, he's a drug dealer. So you guys, President Trump standing against him. He has a Nobel Peace Prize winner, Miss Maria, down there, and he can just support her. And, you know, maybe like, you know, her taking over, you know, maybe Colombia, because I know they're trying to fight the corruption and all the drugs and stuff that's going on down there. It's going to take a while, a lot going on, man. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then at 1 p.m. Eastern, man, I'm taking you guys to like one of the most beautiful, listen to me. Hey, y'all know Ghost, I'm not selling y'all now. Y'all know I've been out here, man. I've been out here this whole time, and y'all been rocking with me. And if y'all been rocking with me, y'all saw some beautiful content, man. In every state, there's beauty. This is America the Beautiful. In every state, there's beauty. I'm saying this park right here, or this little location right here, is gorgeous. There's gorgeous locations in Connecticut. The mountain, my signal with AT&T, it's not good. So I hate bringing you guys content with a grainy picture like that. So that's why, you know, we the people. Number 9 is outdoors in Connecticut. You guys see how gorgeous it is. But, you know, like recording a vlog is different than going live, you know, in the mountains. The connection's not as good. But I found a location. It's probably one of the most beautiful locations, and not only in Connecticut, that we've done so far, period. In New England, top 10 in America. You know what I'm saying? It reminded me of, I forgot that highway that run into North Carolina from Tennessee, that's south of the Smoky Mountains. I think it might be 34, man. I'm talking about it's top 5. You know, I've been all through upstate New York, the Finger Lakes, man. I done seen some beauty now. So that's what we doing tomorrow. I'm going to do a live stream there from now. That's why I'm smiling. Adventure. I love adventure, man. New location. Not abandoning the city I'm in, the location, or none of that. We ain't in none of that. We just going to go drive about 25, 35, 40 miles, you know what I'm saying, and get the popping. That's what Ghostwriter do. It's a gorgeous location out by the mountain. I got a pretty good signal, man. I'm going to bring y'all the content and do another vlog that's going to come out on Tuesday, October the 28th, and it's going to be called Out in God's Country. It ain't got nothing to do with we the people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just bring y'all a vlog. It might have a little politics in it, guaranteed to have some law in it, because that's what Legal Wars Live really supposed to be about, my business. Not America's business, my business. Legal Wars Live. That's why I need some money from them now. But look, it's supposed to be about my business, so it probably has some law in it. But it's really going to be like a travel vlog, man. I'm just finna pull up in a beautiful area in Connecticut that y'all don't know nothing about and get that popping. That's how I do it. That being said, man, oh yeah, man, I'm supposed to get down here with y'all for just a second. Even though y'all being stingy on the donations, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, they being stingy to your boy Ghost. But I can't complain, man. I do have people who support me, and I do appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I see any of y'all talk about some political stuff. Okay. So Tree said that some of the things I said today are questionable, sir. Like everything, listen, everything you're going to hear me say a lot of times is questionable. But I'm not the type of person that's just going to shoot game to you. I'm going to stand by what I shoot. So I'm going to stand by everything. If I tell you, if you do 10 different things and wait for the outcome of all 10 things, in my opinion, ain't nobody gonna give you a better, tell you how them 10 gonna turn out. Because that's basically what I'm doing. I'm forecasting and I'm predicting. Basically, that's what giving advice to the president is. Hey, President Trump, you need to do A, B, C, and D, because if you don't, D, E, F, and G gonna happen. Political strategy. I'm saying that I'm going to stand on what I'm saying is going to happen or don't happen, or you do A, B, or you do C or D. I'm standing on it. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Miss Sandra. No, I didn't know. That's crazy. That is crazy. I wouldn't put that out there, though. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put because I don't know that, but I'm saying I would have to know or see that. There's a lot of men's name on the Epstein file, but Ghostwriter isn't a police investigator. I don't work for the FBI. I don't think I work for the FBI. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying for the men who did something wrong and they won't turn themselves in, that Congress gonna get to the bottom of that, and then they gonna try to achieve justice for whoever they can. They're going to attempt to. Don't know how successful they will be. Against some they will, against others they won't. I'll say the military and the other powers that be in America that knows, they are aware of the men who actually did, not just accusations, actually did put their hands on children. Listen, I've dated girls that were, and I'm going to tell you this, I don't care. That's the thing about ghosts. I'm the realest dude you'll meet.
when I was in my 30s, I dated girls that were 19. When I was like 34, 35, a couple of them. One of them, I met her when she was 17, but I didn't do nothing with her until she got 19. So I guess you could say I groomed her in my 30s. But this one, I'm going to tell you, I understand the law. I understand those females were legal. I was in a situation, not that I was desperate, but I'm saying, like, as a 30-some-year-old man who really just a regular guy, I think I was getting about $40,000 a year at the time. I just felt like, I guess, going through a midlife crisis, whatever my problem was, I just felt like it was cool to have a 20-year-old that wanted me still. That's what I thought that was, to have those girls that I guess, but I wasn't using money. I'm not a millionaire or a billionaire. I don't really have no money. You know what I'm saying? People accuse me of using stuff, but that's not what it was. I was just helping them out because we were really cool. But I wasn't just, like, you see these guys in these situations, okay? You just got to understand what the situation is. Okay, so you see these guys in this situation, and you should hear these female stories about their encounters with these men. And they know the girl's 16, 15, 16 years old, and I'm talking about basically they did everything but kill her while they were having whatever with them. They tortured them, basically. Some of them, not all of them. What I'm saying, my situation when I was in my early to mid-30s, and I thought I was a pimp, and I had a couple 19-year-old girlfriends, I wasn't doing nothing like that to them. They were driving my car. They were staying in my apartments. They were working with me and showing up at my jobs. They were my friends. They love me to this day. They older now. They in their late 20s or mid to late 20s. And you ask them about me. One of these girls who was 19, she told, I promised her before the living God on my life, she said I was the best thing that ever happened to her. She said that after she went to rehab, and she wasn't doing nothing. I didn't put her in rehab. She was doing other drugs that some dudes in the streets was giving to her. It wasn't ghostwriter. The best of that's what I'm saying. So I said all that about Jeffrey Epstein because I'm saying if you have a situation where a man having a relationship with a female that's younger than him, and that don't seem proper, but I mean, if it's not illegal, I'm not going to go overboard. Another thing is if a man is like 21 years old or younger, I'm saying if he's 21 and he messing with a 15-year-old, that is not good. That's not legal. But they 6 years apart still, bro. It's wisdom. You got to have wisdom to understand that. Ain't none of this is got to do with the Epstein files. What's going on with the Epstein files, you got 50 and 60-year-olds, 40 to 60-year-old men. Rich, millionaire, billionaires, married, with girlfriends and can have any female they want. And they are choosing to mess with a 14-year-old. That's a sickness. That's something completely different. If you listen, I ain't gonna call nobody names, but Drake, not just Drake, every movie star, Charlie Sheen, you call Brad, I ain't putting Brad, but I'm saying they all mess with 20-some-year-olds. Don't look at Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner was 80-some years old, bro, and he had a 18-year-old girl, 19, 21-year-old. It was legal. And everybody walking around saying he was a pimp, but that was the ultimate disgustingness. I'm saying immorality is one thing from a child molester, because we try to call everybody child molesters. If I go date a 21-year-old and I'm 45 and you see me holding her hand in public, the normal people who know both of us and know our age, they gonna say I'm a child molester. 21, that's a baby. I'm old enough to be her daddy. They're gonna say that's immorality, that's improper, but that's not a child molester. It's just some people got some whacked out views, or they're horn dogs, or they marry for lust, whatever the reason is. Most men with money married to a woman 20 years younger than them. Look at President Trump. It's not just him. That's natural in America or across the world. In some cultures, they marry women 40 years younger than them. What I'm trying to say is that's completely different than a 50 or 40, 50 or 60-year-old millionaire who could have any girl he wants, but he is pursuing 14 and 15 and 13-year-olds. I couldn't see myself having relations with an 18-year-old. I really couldn't a 21-year-old. She 25, she kind of young, it's going to depend on her. But in my mind, 25 is the age to where they're stepping away from a childhood at 25. 21 isn't the age to me. I see a 21-year-old. I go to this college. Sometimes you can't tell a 21-year-old from an 18-year-old. But you get a 25-year-old woman and an 18-year-old woman, and it's like they had a glow up or a grow up. That's when they reaching full maturity, a womanhood. I need a woman. And when she 25, she about her body, everything is about. Women mature a lot faster than men. To a man, I give him to about 30. You got to be 35 before you can run for president. So at that age is a little bit more wisdom than just an adulthood wisdom. Adulthood wisdom for a woman to make a 25-year-old who's living on her own. She paying all her own bills. Some of these 25-year-olds have children. I'm saying someone like that, if you see them with a 40 or 50-year-old, I mean, she grown. That's not proper. I would say that might be a little immoral, but it's completely legal. And that person shouldn't be harassed for making that decision. Just like you shouldn't harass a gay person or harass a transgender. I wouldn't even say that was a sin for you to marry somebody 20 years younger than you. They did it in the Bible days. How can it be a sin? All of the Bible greats, they wives were 20 years younger than them. A lot of them were. How could that be a sin? How would God or anybody from a Hebrew, they didn't write that in the Hebrew language. They all did that. So that's what I'm saying. You just got to understand it's a balance. But I'm not a GOP person or a conservative or, you know what I'm saying, a Democrat, because I got Democrat shoes I put on sometimes too. This depends on what's going on. I'm not one that's going to protect a 40 to 60-year-old or older man who is fully knowledgeable about what he's doing, married or not married, but has money and the capabilities of talking to any woman he wants to, even if he doesn't. I'm saying, you raping him? He's not raping him. What are you doing with him? He's sleeping with him. Why? Because he could talk to any woman. He got the power. So I'm saying, you in that situation and you know this girl 14. You have to know that she's too young. That's what I'm saying. I can't get fooled or duped into with a girl because I'm past that point. Even if a little girl, not a little girl, but a petite woman. Some females, they petite when they 14 and they going to be petite at 24 and they petite at 64. But you go get a petite 64-year-old and a 14-year-old, you could tell. It's that woman, when she becomes her age and maturity, her body, even if she petite, and you know that that's a woman. That's what I want. If it's a question, don't do it. I don't have to look at no ID. You could just look at that female. It's some females, they be 22 years old, but they look 14. And so you checking the ID because you see, is she old enough for you or me at 45? I'm going to be able to look at her because everything about her going to resemble a woman. Not one that had just touched womanhood. 22-year-old, they just touched womanhood. 24, I want one that, a woman. All them real men in here, you know what a woman is. It's a difference because I told you in my 30s, I talked to a couple 19-year-olds. I know, you know what I'm saying, what. And it's a big deal. Even though at 19, one of the girls I'm talking about, I wouldn't talk to a girl unless she was built like, I'm a black dude. I like females a certain, like, so she looked like she could have confused you and you thought she was 25 or 26. But me with wisdom now, I know that she wasn't 25 or 26. Because at 19, at 25, they stallions now. They were kind of fine. They were no kind of. They had nice body. That's what attracted me. Especially you mess with a 19-year-old. That's what you're thinking about their body. So they had nice bodies at 19. But you know what I'm saying? I'm saying like now that's how I like them, like a woman. So yeah, man. Like people hate on me because you know what I'm saying, like younger females before. So I'm not being judgmental, and that's something some people don't know, but that's why you can't beat Ghost Rider, because I don't care. I don't have no secrets. I'm going to tell you everything that's wrong with me. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to define myself. So yeah, I have talked to younger women before. I would marry a 27, 28-year-old at 45 if she was mature enough. Me caring about a woman's age like that, see, it's different you taking advantage of her, but age ain't nothing but a number. Age is more than a number. Because I'm a legal person, I'm telling you, and you don't want to take advantage of another human, especially as a man trying to get your lust out. You know what I'm saying? I want her to be a woman old enough, mature enough, but I'm not going to say she has to be 43 and a half or 44 and a half. I think you a weirdo. She don't have to be 40. She don't have to be 35. If she 30, she ain't retarded. She ain't staying with her parents. She a grown woman, been making grown decisions for 10, 15 years at 30. She old enough. I ain't going to ask for her ID. I will kind of judge her on her looks and her body, though. You got to spend the rest of your life with this female. But I ain't going to judge her on her race, just like I won't on her age. I don't care what color she is. She could be Japanese, Chinese. I like women, boy. You feel me? Her race is immaterial. It's the way she acts and carries herself. That's what's going to get me. It's some girls who be so fine, and then when I see how they carry themselves, I'm not interested. I don't care how fine you are. And there's some girls who be like just okay, and I see how they carry themselves. I'm super woman. I'm super into them. So it's how she carries herself, which is going to determine for Ghost Rider. But saying all that, I just want to say for the men who is 50 or 60, you know who you are. God knows who you are. I don't have to know who you are. You got to die and stand before God. God talk about confessing and forsaking your sins, and that's how you get forgiveness. So me, I've confessed and forsaken my sins. You can't tell. That's how I tell you at 35-year-old, I had 2 19-year-old girlfriends, among others. It wasn't just 2 19-year-old. I had a 21-year-old hung around all the time, too. They thought she was the one that was my girlfriend, keeping her son and everything. 21 years old, I was 35, but I wasn't sleeping with her. I had a 40-year-old girlfriend, too, I wasn't sleeping with. And I'm saying in the meantime, I was knocking off 35 and 40-year-olds. Girls my age, 50-year-olds, just like the man who's married. But I'm saying never in my mind could I ever see myself as a grown man. Anything, I'm not, I guess because I don't have children, I'm not even going to be around a 14-year-old girl. You're not going to even, I don't even play. Don't bring no 14-year-old. I don't play with me like that. I get serious. I get mad. about something like, because that's serious. You playing with it. You playing. And I don't flirt I don't flirt with stuff like that. I'm not stupid. I'm going to let you know from the get-go. You can't play with me with no 14-year-old. Now you bring her around and she 24 and I don't know, and she done reached that age of womanhood. I could tell by looking at her body, she didn't reach that age, man. That's different. I'm going to have to figure that situation out. But when she 14, bro, I don't see how you can be attracted to a 14-year-old. I don't care what kind of body parts they done had to start growing. I don't want to start growing. See, that go for them white dudes who like them toothpicks. You see what I'm saying? Them white dudes who like skinny girls. They just like skinny girls. So a 14-year-old, her body gonna look skinny type. They might like the skinny type. Oh, that's not Ghost Rider. She could be petite and small, but she gonna have to be a full small. I like small women, short women. But the girls, they were 5'3" or less, but they were all full. She a full 5'3". She could have a skinny body type, but it's got to be, I'm a black man. You understand that? It's got to be a full skinny. See, me being like that, a 14-year-old can't do nothing for me because I see a 35, I'm thinking of one, a 65-year-old that's skinny. And I'm saying, I'm kind of like, even though she a full woman, but she got to be a full woman as skinny and short. Because if you 65 and I see you like a 4, how can you tell the difference between a 12-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl? I can't tell no difference. I mean, I see the hair and stuff like, but I ain't, what 12-year-old you looking at like that? And I'm 45. That's what I'm saying. These men were all older than me primarily whenever they was doing this. I can't even get, that's what I'm saying. It's a certain amount of sickness in you to be able to be at 45, or I would say really 25 or older, to be able to be attracted to a 14-year-old. I'm going to show you the pictures of the 19-year-old girls I was messing with. I'm talking about her is bigger than your wife's, your grown wife. This ain't no little, she don't look like no little girl. I'm seeing the girls that they were messing with, they look like little girls. Like they were, you can't tell the difference if they 9 or 13. See, that's some sick stuff. It's not questionable, it's sick. The stuff I did in my past when I was in my 30s, not 40s or 50s, it was questionable. What you doing a 19-year-old and you 34? And a couple of them. And the people who lived around the apartments, they were seeing them in and out. Gang. I'm talking about a gang of young females and a 40-year-old woman. I'm trying to think. I had a 40-year-old homegirl. That was my baby. She lived on the other side of the coast. You know, so it wasn't no Jeffrey Epstein. She wasn't recruiting no young women for me to talk to. Nah, it wasn't none of that. Because the girls that you gotta be older, you gotta be of legal age. I don't want you to hang around me if you ain't of legal age. So you 19, she say she 20, but she really 19. And this other one over here was 19, but I knew her when she was 17. And I hung out with her and I never touched her till she turned of legal age. Oh, you 19 now, you grown. And she messing with me, so she was my little homegirl. I just some mistakes that I made that I'll never make again. But I repented for them. I got saved. God forgave me for my past. That's all my past. I don't know if none of these men are Christians, if they ever ask for forgiveness. I mean, I guess you scared to go to jail. You ain't going to be coming out asking for forgiveness. Hey, y'all forgive me for sleeping with that 13-year-old back there at that Epstein party. But that's what the Bible say, to confess and forsake. You might have to go to jail to go to heaven if you did something like that. Confess and forsake. You got to get some kind of punishment on this earth, because if you don't get punished on this earth, God gonna punish you in the next world for doing that. Whether you believe in him or not, you're going to get punished for that. You can't do that stuff. A 14-year-old. She look like what's the difference? I can't tell no difference in no 14-year-old boy or no 14-year-old girl. But you go get you a 27, 28-year-old woman. She done just hit full womanhood. And she ain't worn out and raggedy. I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about. Because if you know, you know. Because I done, with them 19-year-olds, and I'm telling you, I done had 45-year-old women that you would rather be with them than the 19-year-olds because it was like that. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It don't, her age, like these dudes, they were just sick. They sick. You could get a female that, but she grown, not legal, she grown. It's not about legal. I was worried about legal in my 30s. I'm not worried about legal no more. I'm worried about grown. I can't have no children, hang around no children who bring it. Not like that. You spending your whole life with this female. You know what I'm saying? If I'm as a Christian, if I'm with that's what I'm, a soulmate. How I'm going to be a soulmate with a child? We a team. How we going to be a team if you a child? I can't do that. See, back then, I was just sleeping with girls and just be legal. But I'm saying even a man who ain't Christians who just sleeping with women, why would you choose a 14-year-old if you ain't sick? 13-year-old. Now, the girls that they were saying was 19 or 20 or 21, that's immoral, but you can't call them a child molester for mad. Because that's what I'm saying. If you see a 21-year-old sitting on my lap, even though I'm 50, that's like a Bill Clinton situation. It's immoral. But if she 21, what can you say? That's legal. It's a difference. So you got to separate, because he partied with a lot of college age girls too. You know what I'm saying? He probably partied with 50-year-old. He probably was smashing 50-year-old. That's how it is when you just got a sex problem. He was sleep with almost anything probably. But his favorite, because he had money, he was able to get his favorite, was children. For the obvious reasons. But I'm saying he would probably sleep with anything probably. He was a sick human being and a pervert. So I'm saying, like, if you're seeing them on some younger looking females, you don't know how old they are. You got to get to the bottom of that first before you throw accusations. Because if they're 21, even how immoral that is, it's legal. If they were in college, that's legal. But a 14-year-old or a 15-year-old, they need to take you and hang you by the stake. If you are over 25 years old and you touched a 14-year-old at over 25, if you did it at 22 or 23, man, that's unfortunate. But you know what I'm saying? You might could lock that person up, but you don't even need to put that. He's 25. You know how be a man, your hormones were raging that young. They hormones still raging in their 40s. But at 40, you should have enough experience and everything to be able to make that choice or that decision. Where at 25, you don't have the experience. And some men are stupid. And if they're not raised right, or if they don't, a bunch of different factors, then you done messed up. Oh, I messed with a 14-year-old, but he 24, dog. I don't look good, but he 24. You talking about these men ain't 24. They're not 34. You talking about 44, 54, and 64 messing with a 14-year-old. That's something completely different. That ain't no you having a party. You walked in with, you took the wrong girl. You looking at this girl and you know, first of all, before you go to that Epstein party, you know it's a 14-year-old and you going there for 14-year-olds. If you go into some of his parties, he got 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40. Maybe you want to pick one of them 21-year-olds up. As long as she legal. Well, if you thinking like that, we know at least you following the law. At least we know there's a level to your immorality. As long as you have levels to your immorality. Diddy had levels to his immorality. That's why he coming home. If the man want to sleep with 5 women you ain't make it illegal. If you ain't make nothing he doing illegal, how can you tell him what to do? But when you start talking about 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16-year-olds, after they get over 16, it start getting a little fishy. When she's 17, in some states, that's legal. She get 18, in some states, that's legal. Now, me as a 40-year-old, if you catch me with a 19-year-old, dot my I, and I won't do nothing about it. Because a 19-year-old can't sit on these black leather seats, boy. She can't get in this car. What I got a 19-year-old in the car for? No. Rob, listen. I was in New York. I put this on my mama. On everything I love. I just did a live stream with y'all. I was in this BMW, bro. I be chilling like this. Hold on, y'all. This on everything I love, my boy. I be chilling like this. Hold up, because I ain't cranked it up in a while. You know what I'm saying? The key fob in the car, I want my battery. I be chilling like this. I promise you, I'm in New York, Finger Lakes region. Right before I went to came here last month. Bruh, y'all know how I was. Go back and look at the vlogs. I'm doing a vlog stream. Cornell University, they got something right next door. So the girls will come outside and they would change into their bikini or underwear or whatever and put on a wetsuit and get in the water. And they doing it right in front of my car. But I put this on everything. Like sometimes I don't know what's going on, but I'm talking about standing right in front of the car. It was a set of 4 of them. That I know. When I was going down there, they were pulling up. Same car, same females. They undressing it in the water. And then I finished the live stream. You know, bro, one of the live streams, bro, I'll go back. They were standing there for like 30 minutes right there with me the whole time. And then the girl, after I finished the live stream, they in their cars. Okay, so it's cool. Sunsets and chasing sunsets and chasing peace. The best content I got is in Ithaca, New York at the Finger Lakes. 7 o'clock, I'm at this park every day. Bro, I put this on my mama's life. I go out there to record the sunsets. The 4 girls at the park. Okay, that's cool. It's an open park. I'm going to go around to the Cornell University thing and record. And so I'm recording. They out there on the pier. I can see them across. Oh, I don't know what's going on, bro. I'm going to just go back to my car and start uploading the content. The 4 girls changing they standing. I'm talking about, look at the window. My right-handed guard, window down. I'm talking about, bro, she walked right here. If I had the window down, she would be standing in the window. And I'm saying, I'm petrified. I'm petrified. So I'm not looking at her. I don't know if she looking at me, but a homegirl right there, but she in my window. But I done already seen them, and all 4 of them, I can't gauge them, but I think they go to Cornell because ain't none of them got a woman's body. I know they all old enough. I know they all grown, but none of them look like no woman. And to add insult to injury, she there for about 10 minutes. She wanted me to know that she's standing there, a blonde pull up in a white BMW. Now this one right here, I know she a little bit older. She probably about 24. She ain't get out the car, but I could just tell the vehicle she had, her mannerisms and her face, she about 24. She's sitting there with the door. Oh, bro, I put this on my mama. She's sitting there with the door open. I guess they ain't no big ghost. But if I was the dude that I used to be, if I was in my 20s, we would have been popping. But I'm saying, bro, I'm 45 years old, bro. I'm single and stuff, but I'm waiting on, I'll wear the, bro, it ain't no way in the world. What I'm going to do with this 21-year-old? I'm going to have sex with her. I done did that 240 some times, over 240 times in my life. With different women, not 240 times had sex with her, 240 different women. And I've been celibate 4 of the last 5 years. So I did 240 different women before 40. And if you think that's a lot, I got homeboys that did that in 4 or 5 years. Out of 20 years, 4 or 5 years, they did 240. I got a homeboy, MJ, I ain't even gonna call your real name. I'm talking about, I'm talking about 2 or 3 a week. I watched him do it. He probably got 23 to 30% of the high school with knocking them back. That's the kind of guys I ran with in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, man, I'm just different. I would never have a problem or accusation that they would have. You got to go back to when I was in my 20s to try to find something I did, but it was legal. In my 30s, I told you about the 19-year-olds. In my 40s, you don't have nothing like that. The youngest, the girls I talked to in my 40s, I think, I'm trying to think, about 5 of them. The youngest one was like 29. And it's like, you know, you just see her straight and just, you know, made some mistakes. She was 29. The rest of the females, 5 of them, from 29 to 37. Nah, my mistake. One of them was like 51. So from 29 to 51. 5 of them since I've been 40. 29 to 51. The first thick girl I ever talked to in my life, she was a Hispanic and she was round. She was like 32. She had a pretty face though in New Mexico. You know what I'm saying? She like 32. I kicked it with her for a little bit. They all women. I'm not going to talk to no young person or no girl, bro. That's the maturity. You know what I'm saying? Lessons learned. It was cool with it when I was in my 20s or 30s, you know, a 19-year-old, that's cool. You pulling younger women, and I'm in my 30s. You got 19-year-old boys, and she choosing me over the 19-year-old boys. It's cool. It ain't cool no more. Not no more. So that's my take on the Epstein, on the child molestation and all of that. It's a balance. If you can't prove that someone did it, leave it alone. It could have been some 20-year-olds that they leave it alone. If it could be proven, then deal with it. Ain't no grown man need to be with no 14-year-old ever. And you talking about, you know, it was a 26-year-old and she was 14. That's kind of gray and questionable. You would still deal with him, but he in his 20s, man, I don't like, because people make mistakes. I know you could be 45 and make a mistake in the heat of a moment that'll cost you the rest of your life. So you just got to have judgment to be able to balance what's evil and what's a good person that made a bad decision or a mistake. It's a difference. Such thing as evil or total disregard for the law. And then on the other hand, the balances that are good people who just do bad or stupid things. A good person who doing something stupid or bad, you don't want to try to flatline them with the law. But if they evil, blow them straight out the water. Y'all, that's my time, man. It's Big Ghost Rider. Big Ghost Rider. Man, I appreciate y'all showing up, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all supporting the channel, man. If y'all have not liked the video, I ask y'all double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I am a Christian. So I do this after I end every live stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I believe that Jesus suffered, bled, and died on the cross for our sins. You know what I'm saying? I asked him, forgive me of my sins and save my soul from hell. And I believe he saved my soul from hell. All this stuff that I've been through is before I became a Christian. Now, since I've been a Christian, like I said I've been celibate for 4 out of 5 years. Really, that's not completely accurate. If we go over, I've been a Christian for 7 years. If we go over the 7 years I've been a Christian, actually, I've been celibate, to tell you the truth, probably 6.5 of those years. But I made some mistakes since I've been a Christian. Real talk. The Bible says that if you sin, because God knows that you are going to sin. He says you have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ the righteous. Some men just get a whole lot of opportunities with females. I'm just that kind of dude. It's my personality, man. I'm a real cool dude. I got a lot of opportunities with girls that shouldn't even be anywhere interested in me. It's something I had to get the handle on. Even at 45, a lot of men, they still out there wilding at 45. I stopped before I was 45. I stopped at 38. Like I said, when I turned 40, I don't know what it was in my mind about me turning 40. Like, you know what I'm saying? I messed up a few times. And then I went celibate. I mean, completely celibate after that for 4 straight years. And then, you know what I'm saying? You make a mistake. But I'm saying, listen, I'm a Christian. The problem is I need to get married. And that'll end that. Ain't no more impropriety. And plus, I won't be by myself. I have a soulmate. So I'm still working on my life personally so I could get married. I said all that to say, you hear me saying this, you are not saved by works. A Christian will perform good works, but I believe you are saved by the blood of Jesus Christ. It's Jesus' sacrifice that gives you salvation. Jesus died on the cross for every single human being in this world. Y'all who look at Catholics, you know, you hear the Protestants saying Catholics aren't Christians or Muslims. You always judging somebody. God died for all of them, everybody. But the only way to get to God or to get to heaven, in my opinion, is Jesus Christ. That's what I believe. That's what I'm going to die believing. And that's what I testify. That only Jesus Christ and his blood is the way to heaven, not your good works. God said that your works are as filthy rags. You don't have no good works. But some people, they think they saved by their good works. No, you're not. I was saved by the blood of Jesus. Accepting the blood, asking for forgiveness. And after I was saved, after I accepted Jesus and decided that I wanted to change my life and live for him, then I made up my mind that I wasn't going to be having sex with 4 different girls in one day. Making targets and goals with my little homeboys. Oh, I'm going to get 4 of them today. I wasn't going to do that no more. Oh, she's 19, she's 20, she's 21, she's 22. I don't care. You know, I thought I was good. I was like, oh, I ain't dogging these girls. You see, I see these dudes over here, they dogging them. Older dudes taking advantage of a 19-year-old. I wasn't doing that. The girls that they say they name, go talk to them about me today. Go talk to their parents. Them 2 19-year-olds, their parents knew me whenever I was knocking them back. The girl who was 17 before she turned 19, she would walk straight out her mama's door. And her mama knows she getting in the car with me. Ain't no hiding, ain't no secret. I want to see, that's what I'm saying. There ain't none of that was me. I wasn't no secret or no hiding. That's why I never got in trouble. They were legal anyway, but if they weren't, I'm saying I was out in the public with it. That's how they knew I wasn't trying to hide. I feel like I was doing nothing wrong, really. I had to get saved, and I grew up. I came to the knowledge of Christ, the understanding of Jesus. I'm not no preacher. People make mistakes. I'm probably one of the coolest Christians you'll ever meet because I understand the Bible. I wouldn't advise people to follow me. I'm not the preacher or the leader, though, in my Christianity, because if you ain't real with the kind of Christian, but I'm saying I've been proven. I don't need no church or nothing. I stand 10, all 10 on the blood of Jesus, bro. That's real talk. That ain't nothing serious. There ain't nothing playing about that. No joking about that. That's all serious. I done bust dude's head over that before. Speaking against it, real talk. You know, but that's just me though, man. But I'm not no square. I'm not no lame. I don't put religion on people. I don't judge people. But if you do ask me, if you bring it out of me, I'm gonna tell you the truth, just like it's written in the King James Bible. The King James Bible. I'm gonna tell you that truth. It's just the way I live it. I don't put my Christianity on you, and I don't walk around thinking I'm perfect because I might be striving to have some sort of perfection. I know I'll never be perfect. Well, why God tell us, he said strive to be perfect. He didn't say be perfect, you idiot. He ain't gonna say all your good is filthy rags and then tell you to be perfect. He knowing you ain't gonna be perfect. Ghost just a little more smarter than these people. I know I ain't gonna be perfect. I know you ain't, so you ain't gonna try. Oh yeah, I try all the time, probably more than you. I done probably told more people about Jesus than you this year and last year. And the year before, I probably fed more. Unless you're a preacher, you got a church, I'm sure I done fed more homeless people than you in North Carolina. I could count 2 states. I done been to 16 states. I done fed homeless people in all 16. Okay, in New York too. And while I was struggling, in New York too. So I'm saying, listen, out of them 16 states, I'm sure I done fed more homeless people than you in just 2 of them states, Tennessee and North Carolina. When I had the money, I was passing it out. About $200-300 that I took with me on a trip just to pass out to homeless people. And I never give them $20 or $30. Well, one time I did in Tennessee because my mama told me, not my mama told me, because they'll take that money and they'll go buy drugs and alcohol with it. So, you really supposed to just buy them food, or if you give them money, you want to give them a low enough amount so they can't just be going to get high with it. She trained me. You know what I'm saying? So you will have to make them choose between the food and the drugs. They're going to choose the drugs. I mean, the food, excuse me. So they're going to be hungry. So, you know what I'm saying? I give them, I'm talking about $5-10 a pop, bro. On that one trip, $200-300. About 20-30 different people. I just go around just feeding people. You talking about a Christian? I look how Jesus lived. I don't listen to the preacher how he say to live. Because the preacher getting a paycheck. I'm not hating on no preacher, but it's just that's what you're going to get with ghostwriter. It's a business. He getting paid off God's name. So what he's saying is right most of the time, but you got to always remember that boy getting some money off God's name. And if it's a lot of money off God's name, that's the more you got to pay attention to him. That's just real talk. God said money is the root of all evil. God said never let the left hand. You got to know these scriptures. Don't trust no man. So you better have your eyes on him now. But I'm saying I ain't getting no money off of it. I know I done spent thousands putting the word of God out. Just this year. Thousands. And I hadn't touched more than 40. Or I might have touched right at 40 or something like that. I don't know. I done lost count. I got some lawyers, they watching me like an eagle hawk, so I don't count the money no more. I don't even talk about the money no more because I'm talking about this dude. I ain't trying. I wanted to eat him up on some other arguments, but him coming at me like that, I know what I'm going to do to him if I got to. So I ain't even going to try to talk about the money because I'm not trying to do that dude like that. I'm going to try to bang him. Real time, I'm going to try to sick the military on him. Real time, I'm going to try to have, because I know all them people that are around me, they all know military. I'm going to turn them against him. You know I'm good with them. I'm be, hey, I made peace with people I ain't talked to. I've been calling my daddy. Real talk, making peace with people I ain't talked to in a minute, bro. I'm telling you, I'm going to get on his head. So I ain't trying to really talk about the amount of money I touch, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, for real, yeah, though. That's real talk. That's real with everything I love, man. You know what I'm saying? It take discipline. It take me doing other things to be able to control myself because I'm still 45 now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying if you got a love for God and you know God said, you know, it's not right anyway for you as a man to just be going out spreading your seed. It ain't meant for that. That wasn't the purpose for it. So I'm not finna be doing that, man. They clown me for being celibate or whatever. I don't care what they clown. I don't care. I care about what's right and what's wrong. That's what I care about. You know, I have desires to get married and I have desires to have children and have a family. You know what I'm saying? And when the time comes and if the time's right and if that's the will of the Lord, it's going to happen. But until then, I'm not going to just be going around chasing no girls. You can't just come flaunt at me and because I'm not easily controlled like that. Female can't just come unchanged in front of me and think I'm going to chase you. I'll look. I'm a man. I know one time a girl, she had them short. They see me in the cars. They know I'm in the car. Sometimes my feet out the window. I'm talking about she walked by. It's like she went, I don't know what happened. You changed or something, because when you walking by this time, I'm seeing her whole cheeks. But I know she look older than 18, but she look 21. Sometimes they look 21 and be 20. She might have been old enough. But I don't care if she is. She could be my age. I'm not going to say nothing to you first. I'm not going to approach you like that. I don't get down like that. I got a little respect for women. I was taught that. You know what I'm saying? Even whenever I was beating them back, I had respect for them. I learned that's how you get all the girls, by being nice to them. You see what I'm saying? Once I got learned that, it just stayed with me. All the pretty girls, I'll be nice to them. I don't even be, but I'll be nice to them, but they gonna have to spit the game, because I don't say nothing to them either. I just catch my cut. I just be quiet. They think I'm quiet because I just be. If you pretty and I think you pretty and you standing next to me and I'm acting shy, that's because I think you pretty. If I'm talking, then you probably just like a sister type to me. Hey, y'all, that's my time, man. Every day I wake up, if you guys don't know, I'm a legal dude. I got a whole bunch of cases. I got one to file. Not a bunch, 3, but I got another one to file. I get in situations, I speak truth to power. I go after powerful people. Dealing with people that's bigger than me, or situations that's bigger than me, because of my relationship with my God, I get on my knees, I pray. When I get up, I don't worry about it. I give it to God. Even the people who, the law of attraction, they'll teach you this too, that you need to be thankful in your mind. That's where they got it from, the Bible. Be thankful in your mind, though. Wake up. I will come before the Lord in thanksgiving and give my praise to the Most High. You need to wake up thankful. Because if you wake up thankful, that Thanksgiving, it might take a while, but being thankful, it's going to bring more. Being ungrateful is going to take away from what you have. I'm telling you, your mind is a terrible thing to raise, and it all happens in your mind. So you got to train your mind. You wake up being thankful. I wake up thanking God every day. Good, bad, rainy, or whatever. I want the good to multiply. So I'm going to focus on the good, and I'm going to thank him. And I do that by saying, this is the day that God has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Y'all see yesterday live stream, I wanted to bring y'all the content. It's raining and everything. Struggling in and out the car, raining on the computer. This is the day the Lord has made. And it's sunny out there, but it's a little colder. This is the day. If it was perfect out there, if it was stormy, this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice. And we're going to be glad in it. We're going to make the most out of every day and be thankful, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my time, man. I love y'all. Every last one of y'all. I'm excited, though. Because the next time I see y'all, it's going to be 9 a.m. And I'm going to be in a new location in Connecticut. And that scenery behind me is going to be so gorgeous, but I'm going to be explored. That's why I'm doing that at 9. I only rolled by. So, you know what I'm saying? I want to ride out there, get a feel, get a look at everything first. Set up, do the news story about the Nobel Peace Prize winner and enlighten y'all more about that situation in Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? And then at 1 p.m., do a 10-minute live stream and let y'all see the glory and the beauty of our precious Lord Jesus and our holy God, Jehovah Jireh, his creation. That being said, man, that's my time. I love every last one of y'all, all of y'all, man, even my haters and the ugly people. I love the ugly people too, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Y'all make sure y'all follow my Instagram page, the link in the bio, man. Thank y'all for y'all support. I'm out.